welcome to the Life, Legacy, and Leadership podcast. Today we have a very, very special guest. It is Miss Allie Bell.
Yes, I am so excited to just hang out and get to talk today.
Yes. Well, just to tell you a little bit about Allie, she is one of our junior counselors here. We're going to call this her third summer as a junior counselor. That's what we're going to call it. She was a camper. She was a counselor. Hopefully we can maybe get her on all summer staff one day. That would be our goal. But this last just a few weeks ago, she won Miss Teen Arkansas. Did I say that right?
Yes, Miss Teen Arkansas, which is super crazy just because I was actually supposed to work another week as a JC. But with Media Week that I had for Miss Arkansas, I couldn't. But I'm just so incredibly excited to get to work week 7.
I love that. Well, I saw your mom, I think, almost the next day.
Yes, because my brother was a first-time camper actually week 3, and of course he absolutely loved it. So yes, my mom ended up dropping him off and running into you, which was really crazy just how all that worked together.
Yeah, I remember she came up to me and she said, "Hey, I'm Allie Bell's mom." I was like, "Oh, cool," and I'm trying to place everybody,
Yes.
And then she said, "Allie just won." I was like, "Oh yeah, no, yeah, yes. Okay, I know who Allie is." And then she said, Allie was so sad. One of her first things she said to me was, "Does that mean I can't be a JC next week?"
So the night after you win, you have all the things going on. We were probably up like half the night, and I woke up the next morning kind of still in shock. I looked at Mom. I was like, "I'm supposed to go to training tomorrow." I was like, "We got to call Brook Hill right now," because it was just like, this phase of life I'm in, it's just so busy, and transitioning into college and everything, it's just like go, but it's like, it's so much fun because this is the time that I'm never going to get that time back to just have all this free time to just do all the things I love to do. So
it's so true. Well, I can't wait to get into all that. I want to hear about the pageant world and kind of some of the stuff you did. But before that, if you've watched the podcast, we play a little game.
Okay.
We test your Brookhill trivia. That's what this is.
Oh, I'm probably about to be really bad at
Okay,
this. But let's see. We're gonna try.
Don't feel bad because a lot of people have been bad. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad at all. Okay, so Brookhill trivia, and I'm not going to ask you questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 30 seconds.
Okay.
For you to name as many Brookhill things as you can in 3 categories.
Okay.
Cabins, activities, and songs.
Cabin. Okay. Yeah.
And you can cross. You don't have to pick a category.
Okay.
You get all 3 categories. So you get stuck on one, jump to another. Okay. And so it's just how many
like cabin names or cabin counselors?
Cabin names.
Cabin names.
Ooh,
okay.
Cabin counselors. That would be fun. Ooh, that would be a good category to add in. Should we officially add that in today?
Officially. Cabin counselors.
Okay. Officially, we are adding that in. We got permission from the bird. So, all right. So that is going to be, and you just created a new category.
There we go.
Welcome. Okay. All right. So you got all 4 of those now.
Okay.
So the cabin names, you can name like, the Hackneys or whatever, Okay. All right. Philip is going to throw it on. You may begin.
Okay. So we have thoroughbreds, mavericks, walkers, Appaloosas, chestnuts, bays, palominos, Galicinos, fillies, Morgans, Mustangs. Okay, counselors. We have Julia. We have Jensen. We have Maddie K. We have Brookhill things, songs, right? Under the Bamboo Tree, Quick Quack Quani, Light the Fire. Is that the time?
Yes, that is the time. That was 30 seconds.
That was like aggressive. Wow. I was like, oh, boom. I was like, is that right?
All right. So I had unofficially 17. I don't know, Bird, if you had anything different. Unofficially, meaning we could review it. All right. Can we see that leaderboard to see where she ranks on the leaderboard? Unfortunately, it does not even get you up there. Actually, yeah, we had somebody
34?
just type it. Yeah. So that's Anna. Remember, she was the camp mom.
Yes. Okay.
So Anna said to me after that, she said, "Now, David, you understand, as the camp mom, I know everything." So, because...
Well, yes.
Because she took them to all the activities, she took them to all the cabins, so she had an unfair advantage. And then Lindsay Perry's, who did church last Sunday, I don't know if you got to experience that, but anyway, so you got an alumni, and then it was a current counselor. Anyway, pretty good. But then, you have some people like Maddie Dar was down there at 14. So you beat them, and then there's people that just don't make it.
We were like, 17. It's okay.
You almost got to Jason Ross. So that's not bad. He was at 20. Okay, so tell me about Brookhill. How'd you get here? How'd you hear about it? When'd you get here? Tell us all the things.
So I came in my summer after my 8th grade year as a JCT, and I had moved to a new middle school in 7th grade and got involved in a great friend group. Anna Kate Saxton, Audrey Kendrick, Abigail Drennan.
Yes.
Love them. We've been friends ever since I moved to that school. And so, of course, they've been coming to Brook Hill forever, and their siblings. And so they were like, you have to come. Like, I can't believe you've never gone before. Just never heard about it. And so I came. Of course, I loved it. My first counselor was Lexus. I was in the Chestnuts and loved her. And so then I came back. My graduate year, I had Claudia and the Lipizons. And then now JC and JCing again. So super awesome.
It's two good ones, Lexus and
Yes.
Claudia.
And
I mean,
Claudia, we still keep in touch sometimes. So I love just hearing from her. And she was a really big encouragement getting me to come back in JC too.
Okay, which you probably didn't see the news. Lexus got engaged.
No way. No, I haven't seen
It
that.
was in the last few days, so
Oh,
yeah.
that's so awesome.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
I miss her. I haven't seen her in a long time.
All right, we have to shoot her a message.
I
But
will.
anyway, and so, but what made you only came to Brookhill for 2 years.
Mhm.
What made you like want to be a JC? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you think of someone who's been here since the 3rd or 4th grade, 5th grade. Obviously, it's like, okay, it was my childhood memories,
Yeah,
and
for
so I
sure.
want to keep going. But you're not the only one
Mm-hmm.
who has only been to Brookhill in the 8th or 9th grade,
Mm-hmm.
and it got a hold of them just like that. So what was it for you?
I always say when I get on the hill, there's just like a peace that is obviously like just from the Lord, and being able to really just take away all the stresses that you have and the busyness of your life, and to really just have that peace when you're here. And so knowing that I could come back and be a junior counselor and pour into these kids and help just create an environment where they're able to have fun and experience that same peace is really what got me to come.
I love that. And so, you know, did you love getting, I was going to ask you, did you love getting to unplug, you know, like as far as
Yes.
no phone, like even right now as a JC, you know, here you
Yeah.
are, you won Miss Teen Arkansas, and people probably are blowing up your, I don't know, you know, I don't know if you're like global now, I don't know how that works. But you know, you don't have that, you know, even as a JC, is it nice to be able to just kind of unplug from life for a
Yes,
minute?
For sure. And even I would say almost more as a counselor now as a camper because of everything that's going on, you know, moving to college soon and then Miss Arkansas things. And so being able to just separate and say, hey guys, just for a little bit, I'm going to take this time. I'm going to reconnect. I'm going to serve, because honestly, like that's such a good heart check too, because when you get so bogged down with everything that's going on, you're really not able to put out your best self going back. And so it feels really nice to be able to just kind of disconnect for a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's so healthy, and I think we can get so addicted to our phone. I'm not one of these anti-phone people. You know, there's some people. It's like, you know, the phones are like killing our society. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. I think it is the lack of balance.
Right. For sure.
We have no balance with these things, and I think anything out of balance is. I mean, you can overdrink water. I mean, you know, I mean, you can take anything and become extreme with it, and I just think it's our inability to delay gratification, you know what I mean, and just to get a healthy balance toward
And
that.
it can be overwhelming too, just even, you know, looking at the list of things you have to do. And then on top of that, if you've got social media notifications rolling in, it's not even one specific thing. I think just having that's always a constant notification, sometimes that can just be overwhelming too.
Yeah. Have you seen like extra attention through all this? You know, did your followers increase by a couple? You know, you got 1 or 2 more followers
Well,
now.
kind of crazy. Overnight, I jumped about 1,000 followers after I
Wow.
won, which was so crazy. And then I have access to the Miss Teen Arkansas account. So on my personal account, it jumped about 1,000. Then the Miss Arkansas account has about 12,000. So it's really cool because I've never had that big of a following before. So it's pretty fun. But also, you know, to know that it kind of holds me accountable too, because I have a lot of younger people looking up to me. I've had campers come up to me and recognize me and say, I've seen your picture. I even had a camper tell me, I saw you walk out of the hotel with your crown and your sash. So just to know that, you know, really to carry myself with poise and just like making sure that I'm always being joyful and happy, because these people see me all the time.
Yeah, that is so cool. And you don't know who's watching you.
Right.
And I mean, that hit me several times. You know, just being here at camp, you see a lot of people over. I mean, I've been here since the 90s. So when you're here at camp, seeing a lot of people over the 90s, I run into them at airports, at restaurants.
Yeah.
They're like, David Pate. And I'm like, Hey, you awesome person.
But they remember. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, my kid's youth pastor. We were walking through church and they had gotten a new youth pastor and he was like David Pate. And I was like, hey, buddy, and he was a camper that had gotten saved here. And
that's so cool.
now he is, helping others. And so I just think that's a really, really cool thing. All right. So let's talk about this. You, obviously you didn't just get into this year. You've been doing pageants for a while. Like I played baseball when I was a little kid. Is this something you've done since you were younger? How did you get into the biz?
Okay, so I'm pretty new to pageants as a whole, but my great aunt was Miss Arkansas back a long time ago.
No way.
In 1970, so a long time ago. But my first time to go watch a pageant was Miss America with her and my mom and my grandma. And so when I turned 16, I really just kind of thought about I'd stopped competitive dance and I love dance, and so I wanted to find a way just to kind of promote my personal platform and also continue to dance. And so I did Miss Arkansas and I got in the top 10, which is great for my first year. Got some awesome scholarship dollars, which that's another thing we can talk about for sure for college.
Absolutely.
But then I wanted to come back and try again. And so then this year I was able to win, which is super awesome.
So because I've been to I think I've been to one Miss Arkansas thing. I don't even remember why. Is my wife and she wasn't in it, but she's like, all right, we're going to go watch this thing. And I was like, oh, okay.
Right, a pageant.
So
sure
I do, yeah.
They're long.
Yes, I went because she asked me to go. I think we knew someone who was in it or something, which Brook Hill does have a Miss Arkansas. Yes, her name is Kristen. She won Miss Arkansas maybe 10 years ago or so, and she's from Stuttgart.
Kristen Glover?
Kristen Glover.
I know her.
Yes.
I love Kristen.
She's Brook Hill. She went to Turkey Day.
No
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Kristen
Yeah.
has judged me, helped me prep. I love
Okay.
Kristen. Yeah.
All right. Well, you'll have to tell her hey. So,
I will.
She goes to Fellowship Church in Little Rock
Yes.
anyway. She's great. So we do have a little bit of that. So
Yeah.
I've been to some of those, kind of know what's going on. So you have a skill, right? So what your skill was?
Like my talent?
Yeah, your talent.
Yes,
Sorry.
okay. I
don't know all the verbiage.
No, you're good. I danced. Yes, I did a jazz dance. And fun fact, I'm actually going to be dancing on OVU's dance team with Inslee. She's our captain. It's the first time we've ever had one. So that's
Yes.
super fun.
Yes, I
Yes.
kind of had an inside track on that one. I didn't know you were on it, but I remember when Inslee was saying that they were
Yes.
creating that this last year. So that's super fun.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. No, you're gonna love that. Okay, so you've done the whole dance scene your whole life.
Yes, I've danced since I was 4. Yeah, and I'm about to turn
Wow.
18 next week. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, both my sisters did dance.
Aw.
So they did it from when they were 4. So I went to a
Yes.
lot of dance.
Recitals
I may
and
not know
all
the
the things.
pageant world, but I know the dance world. We got the jazz and the tap and the point and the ballet.
Look at you
and the
knowing all of
modern and the
it.
hip hop and I feel like there's one more I'm leaving out. But anyway, yes.
That's a good amount. You got your knowledge on it.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that was your talent,
Mm-hmm.
and so obviously you did well at that. What is your platform?
Yes. Okay. So my platform is called Finish What You Started, Opioid Abuse Awareness. And so what started this really is my uncle, who I was really close to. He battled an addiction for about 13 years. And unfortunately, he passed away in 2018. So that was probably a big part. That's a big part of my family's testimony and my testimony. But really looking back, we knew that our family, learning that opioids don't discriminate and just kind of educating people and helping people find the help and the rehabilitation that they need. And so that's really the goal of what I hope to do this year as Miss Arkansas's teen. And I have a really cool opportunity to work with Renewal Ranch and the Harbor Home, which are both faith-based recovery ministries. And so working with them, just employing that faith part and also helping people just find help and recover.
That's awesome. Do you
Yeah.
know where are those located? Do you know where
They
those
are both in Conway, Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How would someone get a hold of? Is it they have like a website?
Yes, I mean on Facebook they can look
Okay.
up the Harbor Home or Renewal Ranch. Harbor Home is only for women and Renewal Ranch is only for men. So they're both both in Conway, but both accessible. And you can just look them on Facebook or their website. Mhm.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Now, so with opioids, that could be something that was prescription based too.
Yeah.
They were, I think a lot of times when people think of drug addiction or whatever, they think of something maybe someone got illegally on the
Right.
streets or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean? I think that at least that was my concept until we work close in the off season with the group Teen Challenge, and so we learned that people would have a back injury. Someone would get injured, some a sports injury, whatever,
Yeah.
and it takes off from there. And so it can be an innocent thing.
That is really, my uncle's addiction started from prescription migraine pills. And unfortunately, that led to prescriptions continuing to be filled that didn't need to be, and then that escalating to stronger opioid drugs. And so it really is, Arkansas is second in the nation for overprescribing opioids.
Wow.
So we have a lot of new laws in place that are helping combat that, which is awesome.
Good.
So we're helping fight that a little bit. But yeah, it's really, a lot of people have that misconception. And so I'm hoping to kind of break that stigma a little bit, to understand that there are a lot of different ways and things that this happens to a lot of different people.
And I don't think we should look down on anyone,
No,
right?
right.
Whether they did get addicted illegally or legally, the bottom line is they need help.
Right, absolutely.
And to shun them or to kind of put them in this box or category, I think it's bad either way.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't know that anybody sets out to spiral down into that rabbit hole.
Right.
But no matter what caused it, I think unfortunately a lot of people are innocently getting into it. You know what I mean? And so, anyway.
Yeah, a lot of people, my uncle always said if you understood the power that one pill would have had on his life, he would have never taken the risk. And that is something that's ingrained in my life forever. And sharing that part of his testimony is super important to me, because just like you said, he never set out when he was given prescriptions for headaches that it would lead to something that unfortunately he couldn't get under control. And so just kind of, raising awareness about that is important.
It's so good. I think for adults, obviously they can get it through the prescription side, but young people sometimes just maybe identity, not knowing who they are, can maybe find that in a cabinet from, parents or whatever, get it from friends. And I think your platform, because I think Miss Teen Arkansas is probably going to have a big platform with young people.
Yeah.
And for kids, they just don't understand.
Right.
You don't have the life experience to know the consequences. You don't think long term in 10 years, what could this do to my life? They think right now in this moment, and like your uncle said, that story may be really powerful for young people, to be able to say what one pill would do. And so I think that's an incredible story that you have. And
with kids too, I like to, when I've gotten the chance to go into schools thus far, kind of talk about, isolation is one of the biggest things. If you get isolated, your mind starts spinning and the devil starts trying to work, and finding really things that they enjoy and that their talents are, what they've been gifted with, because whenever they're finding something to kind of take hold, their mind isn't thinking, well, I need something to fill this space temporarily. And obviously we know that the Lord can really only fill that, but helping them to just find that. And so I think it's important, because you can't be alone. You can't do life alone.
No, you're so right. Isolation. We've really done a lot of studying of mental health here at Brook Hill.
Yeah.
Especially because of 2020, I think COVID in that era of life brought to light a lot of mental health things that people were dealing with, because COVID isolated people. Right. People really got isolated. And I think the positive side of that was the suicide awareness, the mental health issues, maybe even the addictions that kind of floated to the surface. We've shared the story of Kennedy Nida. I know you've heard us share that story.
Yes.
She was a pageant girl.
Yes, and really a connection between me and Kennedy is I have a bracelet. I don't have it on right now, but I usually have it on. And it's from her mom. It was gifted to me. And it says, Kennedy Nida, like a servant's heart. And so that was Kennedy held the same title as me before I won Miss Arkansas's teen. She was Miss Washita River's teen, and before that, South Central. And so what's really cool is I've had a really good connection with her mom, getting to work with Miss Sarah. And I wear that bracelet a lot, because it reminds me that I have that part to tell, to make sure those kids do feel loved and valued, because it's so important.
Because I think addiction and mental health and suicide all can be connected.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's so powerful. It's so good. So you're getting to go into schools. Where else? Like, tell me about the schools aspect of that.
Yes, and so I'll work we break it up by different age groups with younger kids. I'm hoping to kind of create an environment with talking about something as strong as opioids, making it where it's appropriate and they're easy to understand. And so a lot of times I kind of just read to them and talk about encouragement and battling peer pressure so that they
So
kind of
good.
know how to just say no and walk away and find things else to hold on to. And with older kids, I'm hoping to really just be able to share my uncle's story, because a lot of times, those testimonies, those hold a lot of power, and I'm hoping to get that with them.
That's so good. Oh my goodness. I mean, peer pressure, like you said, at that age, I think it's like 13, 14, all the way up to 18. You're asking, who am I and where am I going? And you're trying different things on, right? It's almost like you're going shopping and you're like,
Right.
is this me? Is this me?
Yeah.
Does this friend group fit me? And when kids are hurting, it's how fast can I fit in somewhere? Will that help me to feel more whole? And so what you're doing is it's so powerful,
Thank you.
And I mean, we're talking about life, legacy, and leadership. You're doing leadership now. You're getting to do this, and I think that is amazing. And
Thank
I
you.
think God's going to teach you a lot.
Yeah.
I think
sure.
you've probably already, even in a few weeks, learned a lot, but public speaking, confidence, how to deal with stress and pressure.
Yes.
I mean, all those things I think is going to be really, really, really good for you.
Yeah.
So another thing you said, another thing you wanted to talk about was this is not your first time to compete. You
Right.
didn't just compete once and win. That's not how life works.
Yes.
And so, we all want to win,
Right.
but dealing with disappointment, I think is something that you wanted to talk
For
about.
sure. A lot of girls, some girls win the first time they go, some girls go 5 or 6 times. And with me, starting, I only had 2 years, but this is my last year to be eligible for teen. And so I really just wanted to realize I'm tend to, want to be in control. And my prayer going into that week was, God, like, it's out of my control. Help me to be the best, to let your light shine. And that's all that I can do. And what's really awesome is the last thing I got to say on stage to the crowd and the judges was Matthew 5:16, which is my absolutely favorite verse. And so just getting to share that and really know full circle that the Lord's hand was over what was ever going to happen. And, you prep all year, you work on your interview, you work on your talent, you go all the places and do all the things. But when you get there, it really is out of your control. So I think the Lord has just taught me a lot personally about just hand it over. It's in my hands. I've got a plan. And learning that has been a really special thing in my life, for sure.
That's so good. Would you want to share Matthew 16? You want to share what you
Yes,
said?
so it's let your light shine before men that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven.
Wow,
Yes.
that's such a Brook Hill story right there,
Yes.
right? Let your light shine. I mean, that's literally what
Literally
we say.
what we say, yeah.
And so I absolutely love that. We're just so proud of what you're doing through this platform. And I think it's amazing. And I love what you're saying about doors that open. And, I think, if you could share with young girls, for you, your prayer was answered, but sometimes I think God says, okay, I'm going to answer your prayer, but maybe not in the way that you would like, and I think if we can just be open
Right.
to walk through whatever door he opens, because when he says no, he's not saying no to everything.
Right.
He's like, no, I've made you, I've gifted you more over here. And I think sometimes, because there's probably a lot of girls that compete in
Right.
this that don't ever win.
Right.
And you got to be careful not to let that say something about you.
And for sure, when you look into it about the time you've had over your year going into Miss Arkansas's team, you have to think about all the little girls that you've gotten to make smile, all the kids you've gotten to talk to. And it's a heart check, because if you're not going into it to serve, then, why are you doing it? Like, what we always say, like, the night of Miss Arkansas, the week of Miss Arkansas is about the girl. The rest of the year is about everybody else. And that's something that I have to remember, because, there are going to be times later this year I'm tired and whatever that happens, that's life. But just knowing that there are 45 other girls that would love what I get to do, and that it's not about me. And so just remembering that is super important. And, it's definitely disappointing, I'm sure, to a lot of girls that don't get that chance. But they have the opportunity to continue to be ambassadors and leaders the rest of the year when they go back. And I think in remembering that should really be something that they keep in mind.
That is so good. I love that. Something I said this last weekend, I was talking to our staff. I said, everybody's got giftings, but you also have to have the character that holds those giftings.
For sure.
And you were talking about just heart check, because, your giftings can elevate you. And, whether it's becoming an influencer on social media or an athlete or a pageant girl or whatever it is, your giftings start to elevate you. And if you don't have the character to balance you out and keep you grounded and keep you humble, like you're saying, you make it about something you make it about yourself.
Right. And you can't have a true impact. Like, you can't help people. You can't really see the fruit of the work that you're putting in that the Lord is using to do if it's all about, oh, how many likes am I going to get? Or who's going to say, oh, good job. Like, it's not about that, and just remembering that. And that's applicable to pretty much any part of your life, really, than just this. I mean, it's applicable anywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, selfishness doesn't make an impact. I mean, we're talking about leadership here today, and leaders have to be people who say it's not about me. And leaders who are selfish are bad leaders, and people know it. You can't hide it. When you're a selfish leader, I mean, people see right through you. They see the fakeness, and they see that you're not genuine. And I think that's what separates. I hope that's what separates our Brook Hill staff.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Whether it's junior counselors, and I know not all the junior counselors get it yet. We hope they all get it.
Yeah.
But for our all summer staff, or our ACs who are here a half summer, or our level ups or whatever, they get it. And I'm hoping that the genuineness that we're teaching them to be shines through.
100% does. Yeah.
So I love that. Well, we Allie are so proud of you, and obviously we're proud of you before all that. You know what I'm saying? We're proud of you and all your squad that comes from Conway, and we've got a few Conway people on staff right now. So we absolutely love that. Well, we can't wait to watch you this year and to see all that is going on. Hopefully, we do a Brook Hill Bible study out in Conway.
Come out.
But you're going to be in Ouachita.
Yes, I'm going to OBU. I'm majoring in media and communications. So.
Let's go. We're going to have to get you here in the media team.
Yes, let's do it.
Yep, I love that. And we've got a lot of Ouachita people.
I know. It's a ton. It's so fun. I look around, I'm like, all these people I'm going to school with. It's so great.
Emily O'Quinn and Autumn Moss, right? And Chase and Inslee, Addison, EK. I mean, Ouachita's taking over.
It is. It's representing for sure.
All right. Well, we'll definitely be out there on campus a little bit this year. Maybe Olivia and Ethan and Jason. We'll try and bring the whole team out there.
That'd be so fun.
And especially for Tiger Tunes.
Of course. You got to come.
Yep. Well, thank you, Allie, for being a part of the podcast, Life, Legacy, and Leadership with Allie Bell.